Yesterday is not the same as today.
You're now spinning the question.
That not everyone is comfortable talking about it.
I warmly invite you to subscribe to our YouTube podcast, Modern Day Campfire, where we advocate for mental health through a powerful lens of visual arts and meaningful conversation. This platform is a safe space for reflection, expression, and healing. Created with care and authenticity, your support not only spreads the awareness, but also strengthens a growing community that values compassion, creativity, and open dialogue. Join us today in this journey. You are welcome here. Thank you.
Okay, right. Hello, wonderful humans. Welcome to Modern Day Campfire, and I'm your host for today. My name is Mulekani Whitney, and I'm a counseling psychologist by profession. I'm also a business owner, Sporty Sense, and we sell sportswear as well as perfumes. And today with me, I have an amazing guest. I'll let her introduce herself.
Hi, wonderful people. My name is Jackline, currently freelancing as a graphic designer. And I also happen to own a business called Kyla Creations, where we deal with everything branded and personalized, together with gifts that you might want to give your loved ones or anyone you'd like to gift. And with that being said and done, I'm really excited to be here, and I can't wait to share with you some of the amazing things we're going to do today. And as we start off, we have some questions we're going to ask each other. And yeah, so follow along and join us. The first question being, Mulekani Whitney, how do you feel right now?
Okay. I guess my current emotions, I can say I'm happy. Yeah, general happiness. I'm happy. I can also say that I'm blessed, grateful, but I think grateful will cover it all. A few issues here and there, but at the end of it all, I believe that shouldn't hold me back from the fact that I'm supposed to be grateful to where I am.
That's good to know. Well, for me, I'd say I'm happy and just a little bit tired and exhausted, with everything that's happening in the country. But I can't really miss out on the opportunity to just thank God for this amazing chance He's given us. So I feel good. And yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. So I guess we'll carry on with the questions and we'll be in a better place by the time we end this session. Yeah, we'll go to the next question, and it says, do you believe that most people are capable of change?
Oh, that's a good one. I think that almost everyone is capable of change, and it all starts from within. It's easier for someone to change when they're the one who has made that decision to change. Like I was saying, anyone is capable of change, but it has to come from within. From within themselves, they have to get to understand their why. Why do they want to change? Why do they want to make a certain shift in their life? So I believe that anyone, or rather everyone, is capable of change, but it has to come from within themselves. They have to make that decision.
Oh, nice, I agree with you. I also believe that anyone and everyone is capable of change. Yeah, it has to come from within, as you have said. And another thing, I also believe that with the support that these people will get from the immediate or the significant others will greatly impact of someone's change. Yeah. So apart from someone changing because of their intrinsic motivation, I think the motivation from outside people and the environment will contribute largely to their change. Yeah. Thank you.
Totally agree. Now the next question that we have here is, what's the difference between living and existing? To me,
Mm-hmm.
I think living is you actually fulfilling the purpose that is on your life in whichever perspective or whatever aspect you have.
Mm-hmm.
And existing is just more of like you don't know what you want out of this life, or rather what you'd like to do in terms of your career, in
Mm-hmm.
terms of your hobbies, and just your day-to-day activities. You're just existing. The way you'd say like this glass is just
Mm-hmm.
here and existing.
Mm-hmm.
Haijui use yake or
Mm-hmm.
whatever thing that it's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's existing to me. But living is going out there, putting yourself out there,
Mm-hmm.
having the fun you're supposed to have, going out there to meet the people, the right people, the wrong people,
Mm-hmm.
because the wrong people are still lessons.
Yeah.
So at least you're still living life one or another.
Okay.
And I think that's the difference between living and existing.
Yeah, okay. I agree with you. So I don't think I'll have to repeat the same thing, but what I'll have to add on it is that in the midst of living, we'll find ourselves existing. And also in the midst of existing, you'll also find yourself living. Yeah. Okay. Moving on swiftly to another exciting question here. And it says, is it healthy to fear death? Your point of view.
Okay. I think it's healthy to fear death. I mean, as human beings,
Mm-hmm.
it's natural for you to actually fear death as a
Mm-hmm.
human being
Mm-hmm.
because that's more of like the end goal
Yeah.
for this life that we're living.
Mm-hmm.
We work so hard, we do everything, we wake up every day to meet goals, and stuff like that, but the end goal is still death. So I think it's natural for human beings to fear death because like that's the only humbling thing that's left of us, or rather that comes out of this. Like no one comes of this shit we're doing
Mm-hmm.
alive. So
Mm-hmm.
it is natural to fear death. I actually fear it.
Yeah, actually, it's true. It's healthy to fear death, and I can say that it's healthy to fear death. Yeah, it's obvious, and death is a crucial topic that not everyone is comfortable talking about it. Even within a family setting, not everyone is comfortable talking about it. And I think that talking about death with your people or significant others makes people in a certain, it will leave individuals in a certain place where not necessarily that they don't fear it, but they'd know like, or they'll have a way forward on what to do. Or it can be like preparedness, early preparedness. Like if itakuwa a topic yenye tunaweza ongelelea within a family setting, yes, the children maybe wanaweza kuwa wakiogopa if it's naturally like, if it were hypothetically that many children will bury their parents, yes, the children watakuwa like, yes, they'd fear the death of their parents, but being that this topic imekuwa taken through them over and over again, they'd be in a much easier or better place, hear me out, in a much easier and better place because it's something yenye haikuwa like a taboo not to speak about it. You get, yes, itakuwa feared, but the fear, I feel like the fear, yes, it will be there, but the extent to which they'll explore the grief process haitakuwa the same as not talking about it, then kila mtu ako in fear, and now death in a strike and people are back to zero. They don't know how to explore the emotions. They don't know how to handle vitu physically, how the parents left it all. Yeah, that's all I can say on that. Yes, back to you.
Next question. This is interesting.
Mhm.
If you could go back in time and tell a younger version of yourself one thing, what would you tell?
Interesting. Younger version of myself. I think I'd tell a younger version of myself that basically I just had that life is worth living. I don't have anything else to add to it.
Okay, that's a good one. What would I tell 13-year-old Jacqueline Omwana?
Mhm.
I'll just tell her disobedience is better than obedience. Hear me out. Your younger me
Mhm.
did everything the parents wanted her to do. Went to school, got the grades,
Mhm.
did everything, got the job, got the career. She's still making those moves,
Mhm.
but the things she missed out
Mhm.
because she was following everything by the book,
Mhm.
but rather just doing everything the parents expect of her.
Mhm.
But I feel like if there was a little bit of disobedience,
Mhm.
life would have been more fun. and not just books. Yeah, I guess that's all. So it's easier to apologize, guys, than ask for permission.
Period. Okay. Yes.
Go to that part, you'll apologize later.
Yeah. The next thing. Yeah. So, do you have the desire to be famous?
My goodness, that's what I'm here for. So, do I desire to be famous? I really want to be famous, but like not the bad. Okay, there's no bad publicity, but like not the bad fame. You see the fame that comes with you forgetting where you come from, the family, or rather the friends you had, the people. And I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the fame that is positive in a way that impacts the generation that comes after you. For example, if let's say today Jacqueline Omanya becomes a household name in Kenya, everyone that comes out of me or after me or whoever is in my life at that moment will definitely benefit out of the fame that comes with me being in their lives. So I feel like I'd want to be famous, but in a good way. Let's say maybe if I studied medicine and become a successful surgeon, something like that. That is the kind of fame I'd want, because like it will be easier for anyone that comes out of me, for example, my kids, to have the opportunity they never had because their mother, did what was supposed to be done. And yeah, that's the only fame I want, not the one that makes me being nakuwa like in the bad spotlight, ama wazazi wanaambia usikuwe like so and so, wanaambia their kids usikuwe like so and so, ama the fame that will make my kids get bullied. I don't want that one. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is that the kind of fame that it's good. I think you guys understand what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I think on my end, yeah, if for me, if fame can come without my face being outside there, then I'd take it. So, like, famous, yes, but like you can say, like, Mulekani to be known, like, ikwe somehow mysterious. Mulekani is a name, somehow mysterious. But this Mulekani can open doors, as you have said, Omanya. This Mulekani can open doors, you get? This Mulekani ndo amekuwa the pillar behind maybe something successful, let's say. Na in this position maybe this Mulekani ndo atakuwa the silent stronghold partner mwenye amefanya this and so business ikuwa successful. This Mulekani ndo mwenye amesaidia people or something, or mwenye umeleave a legacy behind. So like maybe Mulekani Foundation and all, but not necessarily like the fame ikuje with so much publicity, with the face being out there and all that. Famous in a good way, I agree with her, and famous in an impactful and legacy way. Yeah, that's all. Yeah. Yeah.
Now another interesting question. I really want to like hear this from you. Where else would you like to live and why?
Okay. That's interesting. Where else would I like to live and why? Kwanza, I think like I'd like to live in a space or a society where it's accommodating and all. You see, like kitambo, the way during the African traditions and before, the way we used to live like communist as a community. Yeah, because siku hizi everyone is so centered to themselves, and we end up not being intentionally not kind, but at some point humans lack, like the universe imetuweka in a position where kindness imefade na the communist imekuwa washed away due to various reasons here and there. But I'd like to live in a place or a space where, an environment where there's still that love, be it to strangers and accommodation and all, because there's no way utaona in public anyone anateseka or something ina happen, then like you can't help them at that point. And I feel pia I also like to live in my head. In my head huko kuna castle, huko mkiingia huko ndani ukiingia huko ndani deals zimekuwa signed, mini mansions zimekuwa built. So if whatever I have in my head niki bring out in a real world, just somewhere chilled, a cool place pia. Environment napenda a cool place where it's not too hot, it's not too cold, where you're just there, like you're not struggling, but you're grateful, you don't lack, you see, and you can wake up and you know that this is how what you have, this is what you worked hard for, and this is what you achieved. So somewhere far, a ranch pale, Nanyuki pale, and all, and I'm happy. So if whatever in my head itakuwa accomplished na najua itakuwa accomplished, then I believe sasa that itakuwa the safe space yenye ita create. So if the universe imekuwa hivyo and these are some things we can't control, then change inaanza na mtu. So mimi mwenyewe, it will start with me and my generation to create that change. So I believe that if I start na and implement it, then the society at large na around me itaanza na that communist. Yes.
So we get in your head to be specific. So anyway, where would you like to live and why? I don't know. I don't really like have a specific place, but like the idea of the place I'd like to live is more of like a countryside with in a big house that looks good. I don't know. Have you ever seen these places in Kajiado that? Okay, of course, there are tourist attractions, there are restaurants and stuff like that, and hotels. But I feel like if someone can have like a ranch there, and a homestead where you just, milk your cows or have people milk the cows for you, just a good life. And if you're not like far away from the city, but again, hauko katika the noise that comes with like living near a city and the rush and everything. So I don't know, maybe Kajiado, Nanyuki, Nakuru, those places. Cost, not really.
Oh, okay, nice.
But like I wouldn't mind a beach house there for the plot.
Oh, yeah, interesting. Okay, so I guess we'll carry on. So, what's your favorite thing about your career? What's the favorite thing about your career?
Wow, my favorite thing about my career is the fact that I get to be God, but not like God with a capital G. Hear me out. Let me explain. God with a small G. So as someone who is a Christian, I believe that I'm created in the image and likeness of God. And God is actually like the greatest artist to ever live. That is something we taught in art class. And as someone who is talented, or rather works in an artistic space and stuff like that, I feel like as an extension of God myself, I'm able to create, but not like necessarily create. But mine is to think of ideas. Now I'm a graphic designer, of course. Graphic design is thinking made visual.
Yeah.
So that the good thing I love about design is the fact that I get to create and to think and to get paid to think for a living. Because most people overthink, they don't get paid for it.
Yes.
I get paid for my thinking. So I think that's one thing I like about my career. It's cheesy for nothing. So yeah.
Okay, that's nice. Okay, as I said, I'm a psychologist, and I think I believe about my career, one thing that I love the most is being in tune with people's emotions. Yeah, like you get at that point yenye inafika, okay, it will make me happy if my client amefika that vulnerable point with his or their emotions at that point, na anafika that place na najua how to exploit, na whichever society or anyone I'm hindi from it, be it patriarchy or maybe for gents, maybe masculinity or not, I'm hindi from it. So in a place where, in a position where people put their gender roles aside, and then they just get in tune with the emotions and they just set themselves free and be into it. Yeah, I think that's the most interesting part about my career. Yeah. Oh, and also how it brings a different image of, it makes someone think of the other side of the coin instead of how we are tuned to think according to society. Yes.
That's interesting. Now, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Nice. In the next 5 years. To go 2020. To go 2025. In the next 5 years, 2030. kwanza first of all in the next 5 years mimi kukaa hapa as your host kwa Modern Day Campfire itakuwa already a big thing. I know in the next 5 years Modern Day Campfire itakuwa already a big thing on its own. And for me in the next 5 years I believe with the support I have in the next 5 years nitakuwa in a better place. If I was given, you know, we can't choose, but if I was given an opportunity to choose in the next 5 years naweza taka tu kuwa a place where nitakuwa satisfied, not more not less, but satisfied with whatever I have, and na tumia whatever I have to live to my comfort zone to it. So it carry everything, be it physically, mental health, physical health, finances. Pesa ni muhimu, finances, be it maybe traveling places, no, if you want maybe to establish other businesses and all, like just comfortable and freedom. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
Wow. Where do I see myself in the next 5 years? Probably alive, but I've never thought about this question.
It's interesting.
Hey, the last time I was asked, maybe overthink, mpaka nikachoka.
Overthink.
So, I see myself as this. I see myself content in life in terms of, we see the things that I'm busy chasing right now in terms of my career, my business, and like trying to implement things, trying to make sure that AI doesn't kick me out of the industry and stuff like that. So in the next 5 years, I see myself on a different level in terms of my career and in terms of my business, because I believe the more I'll continue like being consistent and stuff like that, nothing will come easy without the work. So I believe that if I just continue the same spirit that I'm currently having, I'll be somewhere where I'm quite too happy. Yeah, better than I am right now, better than I was yesterday.
Okay, nice. Yeah, mimi naenda next. Okay, so what's the longest you've gone without sleeping and why?
The longest I've gone
without sleeping and why?
3 days, almost 3 days, but of course,
Damn. Okay.
And it's just because of work, to be honest. Especially on days when I'm designing at night. Yeah, because I believe nothing can prevent me from sleeping except work. What is the only thing that keeps me awake? If you come and stress, I always sleep. I sleep even at my lowest moment. Matter of fact, I will sleep so much at my lowest. So only 3 days, and it was because of work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. I think for me, the longest I've gone without sleep ni naweza sema 72 hours, approximately 3 days. Yeah, inaweza kuwa approximately 3 days, na I believe ilikuwa because of the situation I was in life. It wasn't like in a good space. I wasn't like in a good space. Yeah, but that was the longest. Yeah, back to you, Jackline.
Nice. Now on to this other interesting question. What did life teach you yesterday?
Interesting. What did life teach me about yesterday? Na imefanya nianze ku reflect about yesterday. What did life teach me about yesterday? Oh, yeah, okay. I can say that life taught me that yesterday is not today, because naweza pata emotions that you'll experience yesterday is not the same emotions that you'll experience today. How life was yesterday is not the same as how life is today. Yesterday inaweza kuwa positive, unaweza mka today is negative. Yeah, yesterday unaweza mka grace, unamka today grass, or yesterday unaweza mka vice versa, grass today grace. Na I think at the end of it all too ni, I think tukiwa too grateful, hiyo ndio itatusaidia not to lie on one side, because I believe human mind iko quick to register the negative. So utapata whichever it happen, anything can happen negative, tutakuwa tuned to hiyo the negative na tutasahau whatever ilikuwa along the way. Na another thing life taught me about yesterday is that, yeah, whether we like it or not, in this life tumezaliwa, you just have to wake up and grind and find a balance. So ni wewe tu na ni wewe, hakuna mtu atakusaidia. Tutateseka utaumia,
Unakufa vibaya.
utakufa vibaya wewe, na nimekuona umekasa. Yeah. In the data side, I think that's all yenye life taught me about yesterday. What of you?
What did life teach me yesterday? What life taught me yesterday is that healing isn't linear.
Damn, speed.
Wisdom. There are days where you'll be like, you think you're probably over something, and then the next day you realize, oh my God, I thought I'd made progress, but I actually didn't. Because with healing, it's something that actually takes time, and you have to be intentional about it. So yeah, with whatever like I went through yesterday, that's what I like got to learn. Because today I woke up and chose happiness and said, I'm not going to let anything that is happening at the moment when I feel like I'm having a bad life. It's just in the moment. So that's what I learned yesterday, and I also learned that I have the power to change that scenario, or rather, how I accept that day is how it's going to be. I'll just wake up every day and be intentional about it. So that's what I learned yesterday. So that whatever I learned is what I applied today, and so far this day is going well. So I guess it actually works. Or rather, I actually got to like learn something yesterday.
Oh, nice. It's just a bad situation. It's not a bad life. Okay. So the next one. So how much influence do our childhood experiences have on our adult personality and behaviors?
I think our childhood like really affects our adult life in terms of how we relate to other people, how we view relationships, or rather how we view certain things in the family unit. Let's take for example a child that was raised in a loving home and one that wasn't raised in a loving home. I feel like the one who was raised in a loving home tends to like view love from a different perspective, unlike this other person. Because someone who wasn't raised on love, there's this quote that says that someone who hasn't been raised on love will lick it off knives.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can imagine someone who hasn't been raised on love, they either become like too desperate to experience it now, they do anything for that love, or rather they'll just tend to think love is a bad thing, and that's how it is. And this doesn't necessarily apply to love alone. It also applies to like other perspective, rather other aspects of our life, in terms of how the family unit is. Some people believe that their mothers have to go out there, and as a woman you have to be strong, independent, provide even though you have a man in the house. But certain families don't believe in that. They believe like women are supposed to be the feminine energy to rest, and I think that already explains to from where someone comes from. But it's also easier to learn this along the way and change it, because there are people who are raised in bad families, but they're not bad people because they didn't want that for themselves. So it affected them positively. But someone when you raised in such a family and then they're like, you know what, I'll be like my father. Women are not supposed to be respected. But still yet they go affected. But in another way will affect negatively.
Yeah, that's true.
So the choice is for you to make. Either you let it change you or you let it change you.
One option. Okay, that's true. One option. Either you let it change you or you let it change you. So I don't think I have anything else to add on top of that, because definitely our childhood experiences that affect and impact who we are, be it our relation with other people, and yeah, everything in general too. Like lazima in a way either na impact si lazima iko like in a negative way, lazima pia iko like in a positive way. Like if you're full of love, you give love. If you're hurt, you hurt people.
So now this is an interesting one. I'd really like want to hear your view on this. Is there such a thing as free will, or are our actions determined by fate or outside forces?
Food for thought.
Like big question.
Yeah, please.
Is there such a thing as free will, or are our actions determined by fate or outside forces?
Mm, I believe both. Siwezi kuwa na a stand to any of them. Like tuko na free will, yes, as humans, but at the end of it all, hii free will haikui given or guaranteed to you 100%. So this is where venye umesema fate na outside forces come in to deduct this percentage from 100, inaanza kureduce. So as much as you're given 100%, umepewa 100%, but you're not going to utilize that 100%, because now hapo ndio hiyo fate na other forces zina come in. Now hizo ndo zita interfere with it with their free will na zita determine how you will navigate this thing called life. Yeah.
That's a good answer. So is there such a thing as free will? Yeah, I believe we have free will as human beings. When we were created, we were given free will. But like you said, at the same time, this free will hasn't been given to us 100%.
Yeah.
Like the things you're not supposed to do, at the same time we've been given the free will. But are our actions determined by fate or outside forces? I feel like at times our actions are actually determined by outside forces. But I don't know how to explain it.
What does it mean to live a good life? Nice.
What does it mean to live a good life? Let me press it. What will it mean to me to live a good life?
Yeah.
So what will it mean to me to live a good life? I think just fulfilling the purpose that I'm supposed to fulfill on this earth, that would definitely be like, that would definitely mean to me
Good life.
a good life. Like the fact that, okay, I believe the purpose that I have like in this world is to come and change it in terms of by using design and creativity to change it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, but whoever put the purpose in me will definitely give me the way to do it. But the thing is, I believe that when I get to fulfill that, I will have lived a good life. And of course, you know, the dollars.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's actually true. I think to me, living a good life, I believe with whatever inatuamsha every morning, or whatever rings in your mind, or whatever you want to achieve, or whatever you want to aspire to be, or like if you look at something or someone and you admire them, or deep down you just say that you wish to have that. Like it's whatever inakudrive, inakupa the motivation. Na I feel like achieve it, which is not guaranteed, achieve it or kufika in a position where you are in a much better place than penye umekuwa previously. I think at some point hiyo inaweza kuwa good life. So I don't think that it's okay for humans to beat yourself up because unapata umefika that age you wanted to, yeah, maybe your good life for so and so but hauku achieve because of a few things here and there, some intentional, some not intentional, but the fact that ulikuwa in a better place than a place penye ulikuwa previously ukitamani that good life, it's already a good life. Yeah. Yep. Next question.
Now the next question. What's the biggest lie you once believed was true?
The biggest lie I once believed I was true. If we can change the question around, ikwe the truth yenye imekuwa brought out now, na ni kama tumekuwa tukilive it being a lie. Sasa ni just simple hiyo yenye sija come to terms with how wrestling ilikuwa scripted, because ni something yenye tulikuwa tuna desire kuona na kuwatch them days like growing up. It's something that mlikuwa mnataka kuona kuwatch, na it was so real hata like maybe growing up hata umefika a certain age where you can understand things and all, but if you're told that it's scripted you could just like man. So me mpaka at this point wezi niambia that wrestling is scripted, because what? Anyway, humans are good people. Yeah, humans are good people. Yeah.
How do you say it's scripted? We just ruined our childhood. The biggest lie that I once believed was true. I think was You see, way back in high school, where we had like people who talk about how some certain people are devil worshippers, and we actually believe. And coming to think of it, as someone who has like seen now those people in action and in real life, nashangaa tu like why were we believing such things in high school? Because if those people were truly devil worshippers, I don't think they were kind of in the same place, in the same dorm, to the extent that people bully them and they wouldn't react. Because if I was one, bully you. Anyway, I think the believing that schools ziko na mashetani, ziko haunted and stuff like that. I feel like it's more of people are just bored, and because we've been closed in a place where unatoka after 3 months, unaanza tu create fake scenarios in your head, una hallucinate. People are what walikuwa tu mentally unstable in high school na tuko hivyo. So wakaform their own stories and we ended up believing them. So
okay, nice. Okay, moving on swiftly. So what are your top 3 to do at the weekend?
this weekend my top 3 to do.
Yeah, for weekend. Your weekend's top 3.
Sleep, lock in. In terms of, but I won't like lock in 100%. I'm just going to do 70. I deserve to rest. Sleep, lock in 70%. And the third one is probably print a few things here and there for relaxation. So yeah.
Okay, nice. I think I'll have the same answers as yours, but not sleep. I'm not that sleepy, missy a sleepy person per se. Yeah. So I think like you're locking in because at the end of it all, we need to find something to do. Yeah, locking in and taking care of yourself, health. Yeah, be it mental, physical. Yeah, just being in the moment. I think being in the moment is my number 3. Being in the moment.
Enjoying it. Yeah, like that's a good one. Being in the moment.
Being
Most
in the
people are
moment.
never really in the moment.
Yeah, just be in the moment. Yeah.
Now on to another interesting question. What's your proudest accomplishment?
Accomplishment kwanza.
So what could happen? Accomplishment. What's your proudest?
My proudest accomplishment. Okay, let me not preach what and drink wine, but I think so far so good with everything, maybe life, general, society, economy and all. We chase, you get, you chase. So maybe as for me, anyone, hata including me, naweza overlook a few accomplishments that nimemake here and there, of which siziona ni kama ni accomplishment. Unaona, like hata kama venye umesema waking up and all, like siziona kama ni accomplishment, but I think for now naweza sema tu proudest accomplishment ni the fact that nime learn kwa grateful, you get, because so beat up sana about a situation forgetting where I was before. Yeah, but for now still a mogul in the making. Siwezi sema a big accomplishment, but yeah, grateful bado, yeah, for each and everything. Proudest accomplishment.
What's my proudest accomplishment? Maybe quitting my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
I think to me that's an accomplishment because it's something that took me 5 years to actually like do it. And the reason why I didn't do it was out of fear of unknown. But it's been almost 7 months now. And, yeah, I think it's actually the funnest thing I've ever done. I'm quite proud. By the time like my letter to resign was signed, I was like, oh wow, this is finally happening. Because you know what it's like to work in places where it's not good for your mental health. So once you leave that space, you realize the only thing you needed to do, and life wasn't that hard. You were just like in the wrong place. So to me, that's an accomplishment because right now I'm in a better place mentally, and to me, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. There's so much toxicity at the workplace, and not people know, and not most people are ready to talk about it and not affect lightly. Not people will stay because of a few reasons here and there, but yeah, that's nice. Proud of you. Yay.
Means a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Another one. So name 3 things you love.
3 things I love.
Mm. Okay, you can name 6.
Oh my god. 3 things I love. I love the people in my life,
Mm-hmm.
like the people that actually have my back,
Mm-hmm.
and then I feel like everyone mwenye
Yeah.
ako so dear to me.
Mm-hmm.
I also love Kaila Creations and the journey it entails. Another thing I love is the fact that I love the idea of friendship.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that you just meet someone you don't know, Mona anywhere, and then you're like, yep, this is my friend. I think I love friendship.
Yeah, there's so much love in friendship.
Yeah, like imagine someone doesn't know you. Hata you shall going.
Mko
They don't know your
related.
parents. You're not related in any way. Matter of fact, you two don't even have anything in common. Like if for some reason you're just like, okay, this is my favorite human being from today on. So I love the concept of friendship. Yeah.
That's nice. 3 things I love. I think I'll steal some of your answers. I also love the people that are in my life currently, my significant others, and these are genuine people, and then people who you grow with, people who love you for who you are, people who you'd have to be you around them, and yeah, I love what I do in terms of career and my business, because my career ni whatever I wanted to do, not kitu yenye I was forced to do it. Yeah, the business is something to do with creativity. Yeah, I can see that, and I just love happiness. Genuinely, I love happiness. So, anyway, my happiness, please surround me. Yeah, that's all. Next.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's nice. So, what obstacles and limitations are preventing our generation from reaching our full potential as a collective?
Obstacles na prevent our generation. Can see ni mingi, but sasa hizo obstacles to me haziwezi kuwa the same obstacles to you as to achieve something that you want. Yeah. Maybe I can say maybe exposure. Exposure ni muhimu. You can say exposure, and then because hii exposure ita come with a lot. Ningesema personality, but sasa in the midst of exposure can also help with their personality. Yeah. Because personality of someone who's not that much exposed is not itakuwa the same with someone mwenye amekuwa kama yeye haiko that exposed na ametolewa hapo akakuwa exposed na environment, a whole different environment. Yeah, naweza sema tu exposure, na exposure ita come with a lot of things, be it finances, be it change of personality, be it good relation with other people, be it everything too in general. Yeah. Exposure. I'll die with exposure.
That's a good one, actually.
Yeah.
To me, I feel like the thing that's preventing most people in our generation, and it's something that I've always done for even the previous generations, is the concept, or rather, the fear of unknown.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You're not even sure of, you're so scared of a future, you're not even sure you'll be there. Like, you're not promised of it. And like out of fear, you're not able to take that phone and record that video that you want to record. Out of fear, you're not able to apply to that job that you'd like to apply. Out of fear, you're not able to start that business. And I feel like this fear, the fear, when you let it like control you, it gets so hard to an extent where you're not able to like live to your full potential. Because sasa you're just reduced to that person who says, when I was 20, I wish I did this when I was 20. I wish I did this when I was 30. I wish I did this when I was 40. But if you're someone who just like does it without thinking twice, you'd rather fail in your 20s than start failing in your 40s because you were scared to try in your 20s. So I feel like fear is the only thing that's holding most people back, and even like the previous generation. Some of our parents didn't amount to something because they had fear in them. And I feel like if some of our parents, or rather the people in our lives, for now as relatives, if they sit us down and tell us why they didn't do some of the things, you find that the common denominator most of the time is fear. Niliogopa watu watasema nini, niliogopa watu watafikiria nini, niliogopa. You'd be surprised some of our parents wanted to be DJs, but they were not even able to do that because they were so scared of their parents. And maybe some people will have rich DJ parents, but now you're stuck placing with some, you know. So tukiweza tu kutoa fear out of the table, I feel like most people will really be but achieve so much from a young age na wataenda far. So
Points anyway, that's powerful. I believe that they fear pia ni hindrance to each and everything, most of the things. Yeah. So the next one, I hope you're prepared for this. Which is better, to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond? Which is better?
I think to be a small fish in a big pond or a big fish.
Which is better, to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond?
So let's take it in terms of your career. So when you're a small fish in a big pond, that means you're hanging out with like the big people in your career slope. So chances of them stepping on you are higher, but at the same time, chances of you growing is also higher because you're surrounded by people who are above you. Now let's think of it from this perspective of you being the big fish. Chances of you growing because you're the smartest in the room. So everyone looks up to you. So you're the one who might be the bully. I don't know. I think I'll take the other one because if I'm surrounded by 6 millionaires, I'm the seventh one. So I'd rather be a small fish and just learn on how to operate around those big fish and wisdom and so offended. Otherwise, can I give up?
Oh, yeah, that's nice. Yeah. I think we explain much better on it, and I agree with you on it. Sina anything else to add to it? Yeah. Next.
Oh, so I'm the one who's asking this question. If you had the opportunity to get a message across to a large group of people, but you're limited to one sentence, what would your message be?
Interesting. The questions me what thinking, one food for thought. One word, a large group of people. Food for thought.
One sentence.
A sentence or what?
One sentence. If you had the opportunity to get a message across to a large group of people, but you're limited to one sentence, what will your message be?
I think one sentence for me, like I just generalize everything now. I'm hoping this large group of people when you're addressed to what are open-minded to use it well na wholly in different situations. I just say kindness go a long way. Kindness goes a long way. So be kind to anyone you meet and everyone around you. So I think that will help everyone. Yeah.
No, I was actually thinking of the same.
For
I
real?
wanted to say be kind to your mind. That's the one sentence that like tells that large group of people.
Okay. Mine now. The last one. This one's actually interesting. Best for the last. If you think about your future self, what new memories are you looking forward to making?
I think the new memories I'm looking forward to making is visiting new places, like new countries. Not really new countries. Okay, the countries I've been there, they're not new. But like visiting new institutions, new places. Yani kuview to the world from a different perspective than ile box yenye nimezoea from a young age. Like the way I hear maybe in Uganda there are these blue bananas. I want to see those blue bananas. Like I want to learn everything there is to learn about different cultures, different countries. So those are the memories I'd want when I'm sat in the next like 20 years. Like the last time I was in Ethiopia, I learned to do this, this, and this. The last time I was in. So Those are the kind of memories I'd like to have, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually nice. And I think also on my end, future self, new memories I'm looking to create new such memories zenye zina happiness and more knowledge, more and more exposure, more and more learning different cultures venye umesema. Like it's actually interesting to know that a certain group of people live in a certain way. Yeah. And to actually know this other side of the world that exists. It's not that hii peke yake yenye umezoea. And alafu another thing yenye hii about my future, new memories that I'm looking forward to making, healing my inner child. Lazima nilete zile previous inner child zenye zikuwa healed. I healed them. So if you see me with water guns and all, don't blame me. Yeah, don't blame me. Anyway, guys, that was all for today, and thank you for coming to our channel.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
I had a good time.
yeah, it was nice interacting with you. Thank you. Oh, awesome.
Hi, beautiful people. So here's a question Magati left for me, and it says, if you could go back in time to say 10 years, what advice would you give your younger self? What will I tell 15-year-old Kyla? I'd tell her to take it slow and that patience actually pays, and everything she wants out of life is definitely going to take them one by one. And all those time limits she has given herself of do this before 25, do this before 20, that's a scam. Like life doesn't work that way. So yeah, I guess that's what I'll tell her.
So, hi Magati, where you are. This is me answering your question. And your question was, if you could go back in time, say maybe 10 years, what advice would you give the younger self? So, I'd tell 16-year-old me that life is unpredictable, and I'm happy in a good way that you don't know how life is so unpredictable, because uh, in the at the end of it all, we take the negatives to outweigh the unpredictableness. But it's so beautiful on how life is so unpredictable, because along the journey, you'll find yourself enjoying and living this thing called life. Yeah.